So we're getting this together for the first time. Let's see what we got. Yeah, okay. So it looks like I think I got what I need. Now I just need to get back up to where I was at. And unfortunately, we're going to hear a bunch of background noise, but let me just get to this. As you can see off to the side here, we have Derek Chauvin, the ex-police officer convicted of killing George Floyd, was stabbed in a federal prison. Now, this just came out today, and I picked it up off of Pubity. So shout out to them, and hopefully I don't get flagged for responding to their Instagram content. But it reads, I'll read you the article here. Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, convicted of murdering George Floyd, was stabbed and seriously injured at a federal prison in Arizona. Now, I didn't know he was in Arizona. I guess I really wasn't thinking where this man was going to end up serving his time, but Arizona was not where I thought he was going to be. That was kind of a surprise. So, lesson for the day. This is where he's serving his time. The attack occurred at the troubled Federal Correctional Institution in Tucson. So this is, for those of you who don't know, Tucson is southern Arizona, kind of one of the, probably the last major city before you get to Mexico. So it's about, I'd say 2 hours south of Phoenix. So if you're familiar with Phoenix, the capital of Arizona, it's a little bit south from there. So he's down there. The Bureau of Prisons confirmed the assault, with the injured inmate taken to the hospital. No staff were injured, and visiting at the facility has been suspended. Chauvin, serving concurrent federal and state sentences, was moved to FCI Tucson in August 2020. So he's been there for a while, but I don't know where he started his sentence then. The incident follows recent security issues at the prison. The motives behind the stabbing remain undisclosed, and the FBI is involved in the ongoing investigation. I don't know if there is like a reason to keep it like we don't know. I would think that this is completely motivated by people knowing that he's an officer, and he's an officer who murdered somebody. Now, before we get started, or before I keep going, let me make it abundantly clear. I am not for anybody serving time being violated, attacked, stabbed, raped, for those of you who know, like not sexual assault, any of that stuff. That is not what I think part of the process of serving your time or rehabilitation is about, not for 1 second. So I don't like that this has happened to this man, but I'm not surprised that it happened to him, just like I'm not surprised when I hear other high profile people, because a lot of times we may come to find out that the person who attacked him may have had nothing to lose. And so this sometimes is how people earn their stripes when you're talking about being in prison. And if you're serving for a long time, or you don't care when you get out, it's very easy to see where that's just a way to, in your peer group, being other convicts and other long-term convicts, it might just have been that. Now, why he wasn't under protective custody, that's a whole different thing, because usually for high-profile people or officers or things like that, I would think that they would have them in a whole different wing. So I don't know if that was the case, but they did point out that there were recent security issues at the prison. Security issues at the prison. So this could be anything ranging from just poor workmanship by the guards and things like that. They might have a low roster of people, and so people are being overworked, things like that. And I don't know what happens if you have a bunch of people call in on the same day, and you are low on that, you're low on staff. I don't know how that works. Do they just leave everybody locked in for security, or how that works? So a lot of you may know a little bit more about how the penal system works. I don't. So please leave it in the comments. Now, a lot of the comments were people saying that Chauvin was a fall guy, that this is just an agenda, and that he was actually innocent or should not have been sent to prison. But had he been had he been let off for George Floyd apparently overdosing on fentanyl rather than actually dying from the knee on his neck, they're saying that if he would have gotten let off, the Minnesota riots would have continued and it would have been more damage. So really what he's being painted as by some is a fall guy. I don't know what your thoughts are. I really don't have a thought on that, because the only reason I kind of tend to not go that route is because unless it was premeditated to say, we're going to get this guy full of fentanyl and then you're going to kneel on his neck for 9 minutes, it kind of doesn't add up. And even if he had fentanyl in his system at the time, how did Chauvin know that? And even if the man was going to die or had OD'd as a result of it, I think it goes along the same lines as if you were to run into a bank and yell, everybody freeze, and even without a gun, somebody dies of a heart attack. You're probably on the hook for that heart attack. Even if they were going to have the heart attack, the fact that your action was aligned at the same time that they passed, you're going to have some issues or some splaining to do. So I'm going to kind of keep this short because it's my first sort of reaction video to something else. So what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on this sort of content? And then what are your thoughts on even Chauvin? I think he's where he needs to be. And I think those other officers, hopefully they're serving their time as well. And the difference is Chauvin is, at least he's still alive, whereas George Floyd isn't. And a lot of people, let me just give you some of what people said. One person said, "Oh, dang, that's crazy. Anyway, I'm going to the store. Y'all want anything?" So clearly they don't care what happens to Derek Chauvin. Here's another one. "Y'all kind of sick for celebrating this, not saying what he did was okay at all, but to hurt another human should never be celebrated." I agree. I agree with this person. Another person, "George Floyd was high on fentanyl and claimed he couldn't breathe while being put in the squad car." So they're saying that this was already that his death was already coming. Somebody else, "The comment section is brought to you by Fox News." Another person, "Autopsy report shows it was fentanyl OD that killed Floyd." Another person, shouldn't be in there in the first place." Somebody else said, "Finally some good news." I don't know if this is, I don't want to go down that path. I think that it's kind of it's kind of dark. So again, what are your guys' thoughts on something like this? I do believe he's where he should be. I don't know how he could have just been the patsy and all of that, because his actions still had to be a part of the equation. But I'm willing to hear what other people have to say. I just always like to keep it civil, because he's not us and we're not him. So what do we really have to gain by attacking each other over this? Just having a conversation is a little bit different. So let me know what you guys think, and I would love to hear your ace up the sleeve advice, comment, experience on some of this. Hopefully you don't have too much experience in this sort of realm, but maybe somebody who is defense lawyer, a prosecutor, a judge, maybe in that realm, but maybe not as in firsthand experience in stabbings and things like that. But if you've served time, please drop some knowledge on the rest of us who haven't, and it's no judgment, no shade. So again, hopefully this finds everybody in a place, pursuit, or beginnings of total health, mind, body, and soul. And we'll see you soon. Peace, love, unity, solidarity.